All right, good day, everyone. I'm Joshua Weisel here in the Weather 225 Storm Studios with a look at your forecast for the remainder today, tonight, and even the foreseeable future. We got a couple things to talk about. It's going to be a gradual warm-up once again. We do have some rain chances, not in the near future, meaning the next 2 or 3 days, but there are going to be some rain chances to let you know about that are on the horizon. We also have a couple things like what we call a sudden onset drought that could be building in over the next couple of weeks, and even some more extreme heat. So hopefully you're having a great day so far. Here's a look at what we got for the remainder today. Highs are going to top off officially anywhere from the lower to even some upper 90s look possible, especially in the Stillwater area, Fort Smith, Poteau, Tulsa, a little bit cooler in southwest Missouri and northwest Arkansas. Better news is it's going to be mostly clear today and tonight. No rain chances in the forecast. Now, there will be a potential for some fog across the area. The Foghorns Morning Fog Outlook will be here in just a second. Overnight tonight, you can see it's going to be another cool overnight. And when you factor in some of those clear skies and cooler temperatures, and the winds aren't going to be super gusty, there's going to be a potential for some patchy fog. We'll get to that here in just a second. But lows are going to start off tomorrow morning anywhere from the mid-60s into the lower 70s across the region. No highlighted risk for severe weather today. Like we said, mostly clear. There's no chance of rain really for any part of the area. The algorithm's not picking up anything. We don't even have an area for even measurable accumulation from the Weather Prediction Center. So no rainfall really expected. Nothing in terms of any weather hazard is expected, except for maybe some patchy fog tomorrow morning, especially in areas further to the east in Oklahoma, southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas, and the River Valley. Some patchy fog will be possible tomorrow morning because the temperatures are a little bit cooler. We're warming up this afternoon. It's going to cool off overnight. We got mostly clear skies. It's not necessarily going to be a widespread thing, but there will be a chance for some patchy fog during the morning commute for a large portion of the area in Arkansas, southwest Missouri. Not everyone's going to see it. Just be mindful that there will be the opportunity into tomorrow morning. That's a look at what we got from the Foghorns Morning Fog Outlook. Huge shout out to Foghorns for sponsoring our channel and this segment. We really appreciate them sponsoring the channel, and make sure you support them like they support us, and visit any of their locations. So that's a look at what we got there. Like we said, we appreciate them sponsoring the channel. Coming up, we got to look at that rainfall, maybe some extreme temperatures back on the horizon, 7-day forecast, even a look at your allergies here coming up. If you like our media and forecast, be sure to support us today on Patreon. You can advertise with us this storm season and throughout the year. Contact us today for availability and pricing. Weather 225 since 2015. All right, and welcome back. Now that we've gotten through the morning outlook for tomorrow, let's get into the extended pattern and talk about that drought update. The good news is last Thursday when we got that update, the drought really didn't change, right? There was no changes between last week and this week's drought outlook. The problem is over the next 8 to 14 days, we're looking at a prolonged dry pattern. In fact, the Climate Prediction Center actually highlighted us for what we call a risk for sudden onset drought, meaning that it's about to get, warm and dry enough that the drought conditions, they may get dramatically worse in some areas pretty quickly. So we'll need to keep an eye on this. It updates every Thursday, but over the next couple of weeks, the drought may get worse in many locations, unfortunately. You know what else is pretty bad right now? That's the allergens. Now, the good news is tree and weed pollen, not really accounting for anything on the board, but grass pollen is low. Mold is still pretty high, and that's because some areas kind of holding on to that humidity that we've seen from the rain. There's still some damp things outside. Maybe, if you're kind of like me, forgot that we got rain, in recent memory, sat on the couch cushion outside and it was soaking wet, even though it looked dry. And that was a surprise to me. Things like that are why mold is still pretty bad across the area. And then dust and dander, we're adding this here to this forecast because when you get to a certain time in the year, especially with the AC running full blast during peak summer, and then you have the humidity, things, they stick to the surfaces a little bit different. Pretty much this is accounting for that indoor dust. So it's not saying that, our studio's dusty or, your individual room is dusty and you need to dust it as kind of a reminder. This is just letting you know when we get to that point in the year, that becomes an issue and dust starts to build up because you're running the AC, because we got the summer conditions, peak summer. That just typically happens. Air quality is still kind of in the moderate zone. Now, it's not that it's overall terrible air quality. You may notice it's a little bit hazy. Off and on, we've had that smoke kind of blowing into the area thanks to some of those systems. So there's still maybe some of that activity kind of lingering across the area. Now to the extended temperatures, and you can see still well above average temperatures, and this is for the 8 to 14-day outlook. So in addition to that sudden onset drought that could be building in here pretty quickly over the next couple of weeks, It's also going to account for some warm temperatures, maybe into the extreme category once again. Here's a look at what we've got. The precipitation chances, they're pretty good for areas all around us. Now, parts of our coverage area are in the normal range, but others are starting to see below average. So that's why that sudden onset drought looks to be an issue, is because we're about to enter more of a warm and dry summer pattern when the conditions, they can dramatically get worse with the drought because there's not a whole lot of relief. So we'll have to wait and see, and hopefully we can get some relief. The good news is, it's not necessarily relief yet because we haven't seen that drought fully build in or get worse in many locations just yet. But Thursday and Friday, there will be the opportunity for some showers and storms. Now, between now and Wednesday, for many locations, will be pretty dry, except for southwest Missouri. We'll have that here coming up. Notice the temperatures, they're relatively tame for the most part over the next 7 days, except for parts of the River Valley and northeast Oklahoma. We're going to top off into the triple digits maybe over the next couple of days once we get to Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even portions of Thursday before that rain moves into the area. Now, late overnight, Wednesday, I think there is going to be a chance for some showers and storms, maybe northwest Arkansas, southwest Missouri, northeast Oklahoma. It's not showing up for the Wednesday just yet during the day because I think the majority of that's going to be mostly later into the evening. We'll have to wait and see, but that timing could change. Overall, Thursday, Friday looks to be the greatest chance for that rain opportunity. And then there's southwest Missouri, a little bit higher. I think that could be earlier in the evening. Keep in mind, our coverage area is pretty big, and so we have to cover a lot of ground. And many of those locations, it's far from others, so some areas are going to get rain, faster than others. Here's a look at what we've got with that forecast. Notice the weekend looks pretty good once again. It's not the warmest that we've seen, but at least it's not going to be the triple digits for the weekend. So stay tuned with Weather 225. We'll have the latest here. And thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day.